I thought that I would be playing straight rock or something. I never thought I was going to be the guy who plays with guys like Steve Vai or Guthrie. It wasn't my, but I am, so. But
it's funny, as you say, fancy music, obviously there in terms of technical facility, but there's a lot of musicianship elements that you bring that are way beyond, a normal rock bass player is not going to play melodic phrases through shifting time signatures and stuff like that and be as responsive when you play with other people. So,
well, that's the paradox in a way, and it's what Steve Vai has actually had issues with when he's looking for musicians, because he wants musicians who can do what jazz and fusion guys can do, but who sound and think and act like rock guys, and that's hard.
Yeah,
there aren't that many people out there who can kind of sit in both worlds like that, and I think that is one of my favorite things about the Aristocrats, is that we do that. We're a rock jazz fusion band, or just a rock fusion band.
Yeah.
We're coming from a rock sensibility, but hopefully we're informed by, other things like Zappa style, moment by moment improvisation. And not just for the sake of like putting the right notes in the scale, sometimes just to be absurd. Just to be silly.
Well, that's the thing, you can see whenever you guys are playing on stage, there's that. It is almost like a big shared joke within the midst of the things that there are phrases. It's like you're trying to play things to elicit a response from each other and to get a smile from the other guy, which is...
Guthrie and Marco are both such joyous players. I mean, Guthrie is just the cheekiest guitarist ever. And Marco just look at him while he plays. If anything, they make me smile more on stage than I have probably ever. I mean, how could you have a bad time playing with those guys? You're really doing it wrong if you are.
Fun. I mean, so many guys take a gig like this seriously to the point where they almost won't let themselves enjoy it.
If you do a gig like this and you take it seriously, you will fail. Because there's no way to play a gig like this perfectly. It's just not possible. There's too many notes. So if that's the standard by which you're judging your performance, you're guaranteed to not live up to it. So why do that to yourself? And besides, the crowd doesn't notice the little mistakes that you make anyway most of the time.
That's it.
And you're there for them. We make the mistake that in thinking that we're there for us. We're there for them, both on a spiritual level, which is that I want to give something to them. I want to give them a performance. Ideally, as a band, we give them something that they take with them, and they take it home, and they are inspired by it, and they go home and they want to listen to the record, or they want to play music. So on the metaphysical or spiritual level, but then also in just a practical business sense, they bought the ticket to see you.
That's it.
So you're sitting there thinking about tripping out in your own head about whether you're having a good time or if you made a mistake and then dwelling on everything, you're robbing them of the performance that they paid for.
Exactly.
So get over it and move on.
These are sage words for people who tend to, too many people I think struggle in their head with that whole aspect of music, and it is important, as you say, to keep it kind of enjoyable. So what's the plan for the rest of this year then, for 2012? What else can we expect from you?
Well, I'm going to be going on the road with my wife Kira Small, doing some house concerts, touring. Inspired by the one and only Steve Lawson.
Yeah, he's on his way down here.
I know. We'll be doing that in April and May, and then in May the Aristocrats are going to tour the American Midwest. And then for the second half of the year, I wish I could tell you, but I just don't know yet. It's going to be one of two really cool things. Unfortunately,
You're not allowed to tell anybody about
them. I can't do them both.
Oh.
So as soon as I know which one I'm going to do, I will let you know.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to have a little chat with us.
All right. Thanks, Dave. All right. Right on.
Nice one, Dave.